Hi everyone and welcome to the Eternal Quest Tarot. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you that are watching this video right now. Thank you so much for choosing to click on this video and for being here and checking out my brand new space here on YouTube. If this pick-a-pile reading resonates with you, I hope that you will give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing and staying back for more future pick-a-pile readings to come. Okay, so with today's pick-a-pile reading, as you must have already sort of understood from the title, I'm going to be channeling messages for you from Spirit in the area of love and relationships. So typically these readings, what comes up in this type of a reading are any kind of blockages that you might have within yourself that you need to take a look at and you need to acknowledge and heal in order to better function within the love and relationship realm of your life. So these types of readings are can be actually somewhat difficult to hear. The messages might also be something that you might find a little challenging to accept, but they're deeply healing, and that's the intention that I come with every video as well as this video, that whatever you find in the reading that might serve to be healing for your soul and for better aligning you with those relationship and love goals that you might have. So yeah, that's something that I did want to add as a disclaimer in the beginning. And of course it could be applicable to any situation, as in whether you are in a relationship that is probably not going so well, that you're having or facing some problems with, or you are single and looking for love and a fulfilling relationship. So what is it within you that is hindering your progress in this area of life? So for you, I have 3 piles to choose from. The first pile is this amethyst crystal with the silver witchcraft tarot deck. The second one is this pyrite, iridescent white pyrite with the cat's eye tarot. The third one is another pyrite and with the shadowscapes tarot deck. So I will have the timestamps in the description box below and you can click on it, and I will meet you at your reading. Hi pile 1, so this is your reading if you chose the amethyst crystal or the silver witchcraft tarot deck. So the place that I want to begin this reading is by looking at what exactly is going on with you. So your current situation, your feelings and your thoughts in the area of love and relationships. If you did miss the intro, very briefly, we are going to ask advice from Spirit for you in order to better align yourself to the love and relationship kind of realm that you're looking to manifest or create in your life. And this is applicable to both people who are in a relationship right now and are facing some problems. But I wanted to do a you focused reading, as in like you as my querent, and get you acquainted with the blockages within yourself that demand some kind of attention right now, and a need to heal them to better align you again. So this is all with the intention of providing you some wisdom nuggets that will work to heal your heart and heal your energy. So that's the intention I am coming with in this reading. So I want to start by looking at where it is that you're coming from. What are you going through in your mind and your heart? And that kind of snapshot of the current energy will also give you an idea if this reading is meant for you. Keep in mind that this is a collective reading and not an individual private reading. So of course not 100% of everything is going to resonate, but most of it, if it resonates, you would know that this is your reading. All right, so let's see what you are coming in with. We have the King of Wands. So where are my pile 1 people right now in their lives? What are they dealing with? What are they thinking of? I do take jumper cards, but not when I drop cards, which I tend to do a lot in my readings. I do apologize. Still not expert at shuffling. Then we have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like this reading is more for people who are in a relationship. I'm getting couple vibe from these 2 cards here, and you might be feeling like you and your person are very different energetically and just different personalities. And yeah, that's the feeling that I'm getting, but let's see, let's get some more. We have the Knight of Cups. This could also be for someone who is feeling very much in love with their person, with your person, and I feel like they're waiting for some kind of a sign, for an offer from their person, waiting for things to progress, to even hear from them. So kind of like a no contact situation. That could also be relevant for some of you. So either like within a relationship, 2 people feeling like they're very distinct, very different, and there might be some problems and some disagreements around that, around the differences between the 2 of you, and you might be seeking to communicate how you're feeling. Because of this difference in personalities, there might even be some communication problems between you and your person if you're in a relationship and you're taking the reading from that standpoint, or also like in a no contact situation where you are waiting for some kind of message or hearing from your person, or even in a relationship or a situationship, I like to call those, where the boundaries are not very clear, and there has been some communication issues, I feel like, between the 2 of you, and now you're wanting to communicate. So those are the kind of vibes that I'm getting from this. Let's see. 8 of Swords. Yeah, so again, you might be feeling like you are, if you're in a relationship, for example, I'll start there, and I'll speak about other kind of situations. Bottom of the deck, we have the World. So if you are, say, in a relationship, this inability to communicate with your person, to tell your truth, that might have you kind of feeling stuck and unable to make progress. And there's a lot of negative thinking. With the 8 of Swords, I feel like you guys must be spending a lot of time in your head, and still not being able to find the way. How do I resolve these issues? How do I address these feelings that I'm feeling? How do I communicate with them in a way that will be effective and in a way that will be that will resonate with this person? Because like I said, I'm getting if this is for a relationship and you are in a relationship, I'm getting the vibe that you two are very different individuals in your personality, that is. So you might be wondering how do I communicate what I need to communicate? in order to have them receive it effectively, understand it. So you might be in your head with these thoughts and wondering about it, but not being able to make any progress yet. Okay. And for some of you, like I said, I'm also getting the vibe that this relationship is either ending or is in the process of like coming to an end, or you have already kind of gone your separate ways in the connection, and you might have ended things with them, or they might have ended things with you now, but they're still very much in your energy, in your thoughts, in your mind, in your heart. And you must be spending like considerable amount of time thinking about your person and wondering about them and wanting to communicate again. So I feel like communication issues, whether it's in the context of a relationship that has ended and not in contact, or like you are still in contact and in a relationship, but there's problems with communication, matters of the heart that you are not able to effectively talk about. So that bothers you, that gets to you, is the feeling that I'm getting. Okay, so if this kind of storyline and this kind of energetic vibe resonates with you, then keep on watching. This is your reading. If not, maybe try choosing another pile in this reading and see if that resonates more with you. So let's get started with the actual reading. And as I said in the beginning, this is a reading focused on you. So even with these problems that you are facing with your person, I'm not going to be looking into what are they feeling, what are they thinking. I'm going to channel advice from Spirit. And that advice is meant specifically for you. How should you be handling this situation? What should you do about this blockage that you feel? Okay, and we are starting with the Nine of Pentacles. So what is the advice? Whoops, this jumped out. We have the Hanged Man. What is the advice for pile one? What do they need to look at within themselves? What do they need to heal, acknowledge, understand in order to clear the blockage that might be present within them in the area of love and relationships? What is it that pile one needs to hear from you, Spirit? We have the Four of Cups. What is the advice that pile one needs to hear? We have the Seven of Swords. Oh, this reading is already making me emotional. And we have the King of Wands again. Okay. Oh, I am really feeling like giving you all a hug. Those of you that are watching this pile one reading. So here's what I get from you guys. There is a need, I feel like, in you to feel strong and independent in life. And that could be because in the past you have always taken care of yourself. Like you really didn't have a lot of like avenues where you could freely express yourself. You didn't really have that person in your life whom you could really talk with and be honest and candid about your feelings. And whenever you have attempted to do that, I feel like you have been seriously let down by this person that you were opening up and pouring your heart out to. They have either like not honored those feelings, they have not been able to give you the support that you need, or they might even have sort of made light of everything that you are trying to tell them, and not taken it as seriously as they should have. And this is because they themselves were seriously lacking in capacity. And I feel like this person or these people from your past that you have shared this with are really close to you. So people who have been either in your immediate family or a very close like friend circle. So these people have been like the kind of people or persons that at least you have considered to be close to you. And because of this experience, this particular like sharing and then not receiving the kind of support that you needed at the time, that has now made you a little cautious, okay? It has made you feel like it's pointless sharing anything with anyone, and a better idea is to just sit with yourself and keep quiet about it. Like the Nine of Pentacles, especially in this tarot deck, it's usually a card of like independence, and a very like vibrant, independent energy. But she also is like, has her finger on her lip and she's like shushing herself, I feel like almost. And she's not, or the energy is not of a person who feels comfortable, speaking out. That's where I'm getting this vibe. And I feel like you might also be feeling like even right now you don't have anybody in your life. This includes your partner, if you are in a connection and a relationship with them, just because of the past experiences, you feel like you don't really have anyone in your life, even today, that you can open up to, and you're just not used to opening up. You're just not used to having like honest conversation about how you feel. So for a long time, at least, I feel like you have not had that avenue. And what you do to yourself is that you force yourself to change your perspective. Like this feels like a more about, an energy that's attacking itself, or more critical of your own self, their own self, rather than, finding a solution and looking at things in a more creative way, like how you can, or even attempts to find that avenue. I feel like you guys are not even looking for it right now, or don't even go out actively looking for it when it talks about like when it comes to communication, because in the beginning of this reading, that's what I got. Like this is problems around communication. So for you, I'm getting that even you might not be very comfortable and well versed in the art of sharing your problems and connecting with the right kind of people. And it's kind of like you've just given up. You would rather either like blame yourself or tell yourself that you are the one who needs to change their perspective, so kind of take the blame on yourself. Or you might be just not even thinking about what is you bear it all, is what I'm saying. Your pain, your heartache, and all the like negative emotions that come out of this situation in your relationship or in love in general, when you're not able to communicate your needs. I feel like you just bear it all and you keep quiet, and you go into like retract into your own shell and just deal with it all yourself. So that's the kind of like vibe I'm getting. I personally could say a lot about this kind of mental and emotional challenge, because I have personally, kind of experienced this in my life, where I have felt not heard, misunderstood, and like people were not there for me. But I would refrain from like just speaking out and telling you what my personal journey is and whatnot and advice in this situation, I want to allow all that conversation to unfold through the tarot. And I want it to come from spirits, to be fair and honest to you guys, and not just, and know that I'm not just like projecting my own feelings, because this reading has made me emotional. It has made me dwell a little bit on that phase of my own life. So I don't want to interfere with the messages from spirit that do come up for you. And with the King of Wands being the overall energy, so how I look at the bottom of the deck card as the overall energy of the spread and of the situation that we are looking into. And with the King of Wands, I feel like within you there must be a lot, like you have held it all in yourself for a very long time. And if you were to be given, the advice on how to open up or how to handle this energy, this self-critical and kind of like working against itself kind of energy, if you were to give an avenue, an opportunity, and the right person were to step in, that, you would have a lot to say, okay? You have been, in sitting with your emotions and in just dealing with everything by yourself, you have sort of allowed them to simmer and also to like transform you. This must have provided you a lot of understanding about people, about yourself, about love, about relationships. So there is this transformative like kind of fire within you, I feel like, that's just waiting to complete its work of transformation. I feel like this is not yet like directed in the right direction, this energy within you. And it almost like it's a need that it needs to get out, to express itself, to show you how you have transformed and what a long way you have come. Right now you might be just busy like, holding everything in within yourself and not being able to see, what is it that you have learned and how transformed and how changed you are. So I don't see a lot of appreciation on the journey. I see more focused on like preserving your own status quo by, again, doing the habitual thing that you're so used to and keeping it all in. And also like wanting to avoid any kind of betrayal from someone. And betrayal, I mean, not being there for you in a way that you needed people to be there for you. So you're trying to avoid that. And that's kind of like your biggest agenda at the moment, which is very understandable. But I feel like if you were to give in a chance, and if you were to allow yourself a chance to express everything that you are so holding in your heart, it's going to be like a transformative fire, really changing you, really changing your circumstances, your vibe. So, just something to think about. Like if this is not even a thought right now, Spirit is encouraging you and making you see that, you have been afraid of openly sharing what's in your heart for a very, very long time. And I feel like it might have made you feel restricted, made you feel like not very comfortable and not very good. And you're sort of like in a place where you're just watching everything. Because as I said in the past, like when you have expressed yourself, it has not really gone the way that you have wanted or desired. So that has made you feel like, what's the point? People are not going to understand anyways. They are not going to respond to it the way that I need them to. And maybe it is just me that has to like change his or her own perspective. and maybe I'm wrong. I need to see this differently, you know. So that kind of like a self-talk I feel from you guys. But I feel like if you were to see that, by keeping it all in, you know, you're not allowing the next stage of your life to open up and to unfold. You know, if you could only see that, that's what I'm getting from Spirit. Like, if only pile one people, if they could see, you know, how tremendously they can use all of the lessons, all of the learning, all of the like pain, all of the things that are, you know, they're caging in their hearts right now, allow them, give it the permission to transform you. And of course that can be a difficult thing at the moment. I feel like you guys are still on guard and still try to like keep people away, not let them get too close beyond a certain point. Okay, but Spirit is asking me to tell you this, that, you know, there are ways and means where you can feel more free to be you, rather than needing to hide certain parts of you because of like fear of rejection from other people, from, you know, for those parts within you. So Spirit is asking you to at least be open now to see that there is something that you can do about this, and allowing this will open a new chapter in your life. So I want to get some oracle messages for you guys and see what else comes up. Whoops, sorry about that. I kind of bumped into my own mic, and I'm sorry if that recorded like a bump sound. Anyways. So what are the messages for my Pile 1 people? What do they need to hear? What do they need to see? What's the advice that's coming up for them, which will help align them better to loving relationships and creating more love in relationships? Because I hope that you can see, like, because of where you are and your past experiences and how that has kind of made you cautious, it doesn't allow for, you know, closeness with others beyond a certain point, you know, and also presents a challenge in, like, for others in getting to know you. And if they are not able to know you, how are they going to respond and see if they can accept that, you know? So this might also be talking about like issues around accepting yourself, because you have been mistreated in the past so much with, especially in the area of communication, and always unluckily have found people who are not able to handle this the right way. It has kind of, you know, made you accept yourself and your emotions way less than you probably should, which is, you know, like full acceptance of yourself and just being yourself, being your honest self, and being able to show yourself candidly. Okay, so let's get the advice. Grace, it's atonement, bring out beauty, elegance, the outer as reflection of the inner, vanity, charisma, self-expression. I feel like I said, being open to this possibility that you can learn how to gracefully accept yourself and also open up with other people in your connections, in your relationships. I feel like this is going to really bring out and enhance the beautiful person that you are on the inside. And it's going to show more of that to the outside world as well. Because like I said, you have, in sitting with your pain and just allowing it to work itself as much as it can in the limited boundary of your own self, your own identity, your own heart, you must have learned really big life lessons, which are now awaiting to be shared with the world, and also they're waiting for you to accept them and allow them to flow so that they can transform you. They can literally bring out your beauty. Okay? So that's kind of the same repetition of the message that I'm getting, that I got from the tarot cards. So let's see what else can you do this, and what else can you do. And just so you know, like in my life, and I said I would refrain from like speaking about it, but here, like with Grace, I want to add one more thing, like in my experience. So when I learned how to accept those like wounded parts of me and allow them to be shown to the world, I thought that this would be a very messy process, and a lot of like lot of anger, a lot of like hatred, and being repellent. As in, like, I would repel people, I would draw in a lot of judgment, I would draw in a lot of hate. But I learned over time that this can be done very gracefully. So I feel like I need to tell you that, because I feel like one of your concerns might be, you know, a subconscious one. Maybe this might be an unconscious concern and not something you actively dwell on. But the thing that keeps you caged in your own heart is the worry, you know, how would it be received? So finding a way, it's possible, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and I feel like what this card is also here to tell us. So let's get some more advice. What are you supposed to be looking at? What is it that you need to heal? What are the blockages in the area of love and relationships? What is it that you need to look at? For pile 1, what are the messages for pile 1? Okay. Woo. Stuck. Resoluteness. Determination, no compromises, unwavering focus, inner resolve, integrity, a test of character, and self-examination. So I feel like with this card, the message that I'm getting is that, you know, to transform your own life and to open up that door where you are a different person and you are attracting different outcomes in love and relationships, or even like within your current relationship, in order to, like, you know, bring the transformation. There needs to be somewhat of a resoluteness, a determination within yourself that you are going to step in and take charge of this. Okay? From no compromises. I feel like because of the problems around communication in your love relationships, you might have settled for way less than you deserve. You might have sold yourself. Short selling, as they say, you know. And you might have compromised a lot in or within the relationship by not being able to express. And now is the time to know your own value, your own worth, and to become sort of like determined to speak your own truth, you know. Integrity, which is one of the messages on this card, that's also making me feel like, because of this fear of not being able to speak your truth, or because of this fear of communication that you have, you might also have in the past compromised on integrity, like personal integrity, where you have just said things to please someone else, to make them feel good, maybe done things that you were not okay with. Okay? So again, as I said, like, this seems to be an energy of someone that's actually working against itself and contributing to even more of problems in the realm of love and relationship. But that's because, like, you're not one of the things that comes up is like you're not being or not working from a place of integrity. You're not able to tell your truth. Okay? Taking this to the negative extreme, this might have even made you a little codependent in relationships, or someone who plays like mind games. Okay? And someone who feels the need to conceal certain things, or keep them from your partner. But that makes for not a very wholesome relationship, right? That gives rise to a host of, other problems. So you might feel like, and this is no judgment on you, this is just because, I feel like you have problems around communication. You have not been able to, because in the past, like, you have not been accepted for who you are. So from this kind of a space, all these other, like, problems with integrity, with, being independent, come across as very negative, but that's where they come from, So that's the other message, like a need to really take that responsibility, and really seeing these communication problems and not your willingness or your unwillingness to share things as something that is your job, that is your responsibility, and that is what will change your vibe and the vibe of future connections that you might bring forth in your life, and also the connection that you are in. This might be something that you might not be comfortable looking at, these like flaws within you, but like I said, the flaw or the negative aspect of our personality, we have to take a step deeper and go into like the reasons of that. And I feel like this reading is bringing up the like past betrayal and not being heard and people not being there for you in a way that you needed them to be. So now you're like, there's no point in sharing. I'll just keep these things to myself. I'll just take care of myself. I don't need anyone. I don't need people to hear what's in my heart. So you deny those things to yourself as well, and you're coping. You're just simply coping, like outwardly just coping with this dysfunction within you and in your life, because the outer being is a reflection of what's inside of us. So you need to see that. You need to see your personal responsibility, I almost feel like, and be determined to now change it by bringing in more integrity and honesty in your conversations, and making no compromises when it comes to, having your needs met and your feelings addressed. So maybe you have learned the strategy of just like keeping things from other people, but that in the long term, that's not working for you, is the message that I'm getting from this reading. Okay? So let's get one more card. What is the advice that comes out for you? What is it that you need to see? What do you need to heal? What do you need to understand? What is the advice for pile 1? Biting through, taking decisive action, restore order, force applied with sensitivity, justice, tenacious devotion to a task. That's the card. And I was reading the messages under that. So again, I feel like, very strongly the message that seems to be coming through for you is that you need to take this responsibility of being there for yourself, of speaking your own truth. And some of these truths that might come out in this process might be very difficult for other people in your life to hear. Some things that you might want to say to them. And you might have also felt wronged. Okay? If you are currently in a relationship, I feel like you might have not felt like your partner is giving you everything that you need. But I feel like now is the time that you need to speak up and tell them that, instead of just withdrawing in your own shell and just keeping it within you and telling yourself that, you have to deal with everything and you just have to take as it comes. Because people don't understand anyway. So I feel like this card is also talking about to set aside the focus on others for a minute here and to focus on how does this make you feel. Okay? And with the lessons I feel like that you have learned through the pain, through your own pain, through being in this vibe that I described, I feel like you have understood a lot about people and about relationships, and you have learned some lessons there. And you know quite a lot when it comes to people and relationships and love in general. So you need to really hold that as your own personal high standard. And not deviate from it, not give up on that ideal. And if you are in a relationship right now and it's not going the way that you like, but you have not been able to communicate, speak up and tell them as it is. Take a stand, be there for yourself. That would be the right thing to do. That would be working from a place of integrity, from honesty. And don't just apply, other kind of like coping strategies where you have just stopped sharing, or you just, withdraw into your shell, or you keep certain things from your partner. If you are engaging in any of those or any such behaviors, stop doing that. You're self-harming, I feel like. Okay? Let me get some more oracle cards. Okay. Really bumped the mic and dropped it there. I do apologize. I'm so sorry. Okay. What is the advice that comes up for you, Pile 1? What's the advice that comes up for you, Pile 1? In the area of love and relationship. What should you be looking at? What should you be aware of? Healing. If there is a judge, you are it. So this is again a card that is empowering you. I'm getting two distinct messages from the card. One is, you need to be more verbal and communicate about your needs and tell them what is right for you, or tell others what is wrong for you, that's sharing. And nobody else gets to decide what that criteria is for you. Like I said in the past, I feel like people have either made light of your situation, of your problems. They might have been very flippant about it. They might have told you,
oh, this is not the right way to think. Don't feel that. Why do you feel that way? Oh, look at this. So in this process, you might have lost your confidence in, judging your own feelings for yourself. And there's always like that second guessing, am I the one that's wrong here? Am I the one that's not supposed to be feeling what I'm feeling? So this card, this oracle message is here to empower you and tell you that you are actually correct in everything that you feel, and nobody else gets to decide what is right for you and what is wrong for you. So connect with your feelings and go with them, because they will always, always, always guide you in the right direction. They'll always take you in the right direction. Okay, so kind of like telling you to be confident again, to be able to verbalize these emotions within you that you hold back so much, because people kind of just project their own ideas of right and wrong and tell you, oh, this is not the way to think, or this is a dysfunctional way, or forget all of that. You know a lot, you know a lot. You are capable of understanding your own feelings, and you are the one who gets to decide always what is right for you and what is wrong for you. Okay? So if there is a judge, you are it. Evaluate. Find that self-confidence within you that makes you feel like, no, I get it. This is how I feel. This is how it should be. Believe in that. Woo! So many cards, but there's one that flipped over. Tomato, potato, eggplant. This is, being able to identify and name your feelings. So when we, spend a lot of time in our lives, I feel like, where we are not communicating how we feel, there's a particular skill that we tend to lose the grip on, or we tend to become very rusty at, and that is naming and identifying how we feel. Okay? So the first step, when you get ready to express yourself, the first step, the first focus is inward, right? That's where it would start. Identifying how you feel in the situation. Over the years, this has been kind of repressed in you, and also because of other people projecting their own ideas. This is something that you might have forgotten how to do, okay? And it's a very, very important self-care step one, being able to identify how you feel. So engage in that process, in that self-examination, before you go on, the expressing others how you feel. Make sure that in your heart there is that awesome level of clarity before you can effectively, of course, express yourself. But what this does, acquainting ourselves with our own feelings and sort of allowing that honesty within ourselves, that we are calling, a tomato, potato, and eggplant. What this does is that it moves us from a place of just repressing it and telling yourself you have to deal with it and get on with it, to a more, honest and place of integrity. That's how the personal integrity rises, from which you can then choose and decide. Okay? So naming and identifying your feelings, it's literally like a practice thing, something that gets better with practice, with time. But engage in that process is what I'm feeling like. You need to do that. And that will take some time, but that is okay. That is step one. Okay? Because, now you are or Spirit is wanting you to be in that headspace of feeling like empowered and in charge and really taking charge of your own life and understanding that there's a huge responsibility with you as well in creating the kind of love relationships and connections with other people. So once you see that, it means like you have to become capable in time to be able to execute all of this, which starts with self-examination, being able to identify clearly what is it that you feel about several things in relationship and in love, and from there being able to express them and speak your truth clearly. As I said, what I got from the tarot reading, there might be certain things that you deny or repress within yourself, so you yourself are not seeing it right now. Okay? What else? What comes up as an advice for Pile 1 people? What comes up as an advice for you guys in the area of love and relationships? This to me, this has no kind of keywords, so I'm just going to take a moment to connect with the card and see what I get. This to me is speaking of change and transformation and the wheel of time, you know? So I feel like Spirit is asking you or telling you one thing first. Spirit is telling you that now is the time to take this step into transforming yourself. Your journey in transformation has either like already begun or is beginning very soon. And in time, if you allow it, it's going to transform you and take you in the direction. It's also looking like a wheel, so like taking you in the direction where you want to be headed in, to your heart's desire. Okay? So those are the two messages that I got from this card. That transformation is coming very soon. There's a need here for you guys to change your ways. And you will get better at communication, being able to communicate your authentic self. And that is taking you in the direction that you have always wanted to head into. Bottom of the deck, I have as above, so below. The inner and outer are just reflections of each other. Pay attention to that. Okay? So again, I do hope that this reading resonated and that it was immensely helpful. I'm going to leave your reading here. I really hope that the advice that came through for you, that really helps you heal and see things differently and begin this journey of transformation, and for bringing in the kind of love and relationships in your life that you desire. So thank you so much again for watching, and if this reading did help you in any way, big or small, please consider giving this video a like, a thumbs up, and also subscribing and staying back for future readings to come. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Hi Pile 2, so this is for those of you that picked this pyrite, the white stone, along with the cat's eye tarot. This is your reading, and if you skipped the intro or missed it, just very quickly, today's reading is focused on you, and it's going to be looking at what kind of blockages and issues within yourself, the wounds, the subconscious kind of aspects of you that might be hindering your ability to find the kind of love relationships that your heart is really desiring. And I'm not going to look at what's blocking love in general from your life, or what are the issues that other people are bringing into your situation. So this can be a very difficult reading to look at, and some difficult to accept concepts and concerns might come up in the reading, so a fair trigger warning. But my intention is to bring those things into focus that need to be seen and need to be healed in order to align you to what it is that you are trying to create. So we are starting with the King of Swords. So what is the advice for pile 2? What are the aspects within themselves that they should be looking at? What do they need to know in order to align themselves better to receive the loving relationships that they desire? So where I'm starting with, sorry, I forgot to mention that, where I'm starting this reading is first looking into what you're working with right now, or what is the kind of problem or issues or concern that needs to needs to come out and to be focused on, and what situation you might find yourself in. This will kind of give you an idea as well as to if this is your reading or not. If this information does resonate, please continue watching, and if not, please feel free to choose another pile within this reading, or maybe come back for another video. But I'm starting with looking at what exactly is the main central issue that is coming up. Okay, and we have the Seven of Cups. So what is going on with pile 2? What are we currently dealing with? What needs to be addressed? Okay. Then we have the Four of Wands. Oops. So where is pile 2 at currently? And we have the Moon card. Excuse me. And bottom of the deck, we have Six of Cups. Okay. So really intense energy is coming through from this pile. See if that resonates with you. But I feel like, you are currently being challenged by your own thoughts. And specifically, this is you questioning just the idea of love and relationships in general. I feel like you have somewhat shut yourself out from the world and from connections, and you might be spending a lot of time alone, but not actively seeking a connection or a relationship at this point of time. And I find that there is a lot of confusion in your mind and your heart about the idea of stability and of relationships themselves. This kind of thinking might be coming from your past experience, or specifically from childhood. Okay? So deep childhood wounds are coming up in this reading. And the way that you have been brought up, or the context, the family context that you might have found yourself in, that was not a very nurturing place, as well as maybe you have seen bad examples of relationships in your life. And that has kind of made you question the idea of like love and relationships, and how fantastic can they be, really. It's almost like you are also cut off from your own emotional side, and you value logic and thought more than emotions at this time. Again, because of, this wounding, and that giving rise to you questioning the validity of this dream of like relationships and love and stable home environments and whatnot. And you have still not figured out how to manifest it, or whether you even want to manifest that or not. And I find that in the reading, that is, in the cards, I find that, you are somewhat aware that this could be coming from, like your past and your childhood, and the environment that you have been brought up in, or like looking at your parents' relationship, or the other elders in your life. And I feel like you're somewhat aware that they're coming from there, and you're also aware of kind of like the dysfunction that has caused within you. And you have considered that, I feel like. But it's a scary place to be in the sense that, you don't feel confident enough that you would ever be ready to be open to love and to relationships. Okay? So if this kind of vibe resonates with you, keep on watching. This is your reading. And for the next part of the reading, I'm going to get advice as to what you can do and what will help you navigate this and to handle it in a way that will align you more for love and relationships. With the King of Swords here, like I said, I feel like you guys have been cut off from your own emotional side. But I'm also getting a kind of like arrogant vibe from this particular card. Not arrogant, I wouldn't say like rude, but somebody who's like set in their ways, somebody who's not very flexible, somebody who's not... who doesn't know how to change. A lot of confusion, like I said in the beginning. So that doesn't know how to change, but it doesn't, like, it's not coming from a rude and arrogant place, and I apologize previously for saying that, but it's like a very strong mindset that you have kind of married yourself to, and you are not sure if you even want to change it, because again, as I said, like, how great can relationships be? They all just fail anyways. They all lead to some kind of a pain. Okay? So let's get some advice for you, and like I said, if this resonates, this kind of a vibe, then this is your reading. Now let's dive into the advice part as to, advice from Spirit as to what you should do to heal yourself, because I feel like you recognize all of this within yourself, and you recognize this as a problem and something that doesn't allow you to be present and available for relationships. And you might be wanting to heal that now, to actually see if love is something that can be brought into your life. And I feel like there's an honesty to you in being aware and acknowledging those problems that you might have around viewing and seeing love and relationships. So that's good, and I feel like you might be looking for it now, looking for those answers. So we are starting with the Six of Wands reversed. So what is it that you need to consider? What is it that you need to look at? What's the advice that comes up for you? We have Judgment. What advice comes up for pile 2? What's the message from Spirit for pile 2? Ace of Pentacles. What advice comes up for pile 2 in handling where they are? Ace of Wands. And bottom of the deck we have Two of Pentacles. How I look at the bottom of the deck card is to get the overall energy of the reading and kind of like the broader context within which I interpret rest of the cards. So starting with the Six of Wands, I feel like in the past, as I was saying, like this could be also like failure in your past relationships, and that's the vibe that is coming up here right now. And you have gone through experiencing a lot of failure in relationships, I feel like. So a lot of relationships not working out, not going the way that you have wanted them to, making you feel defeated, and like it's a lost cause, and just not a history of success with relationship for this pile, I feel like. And Judgment, the energy of Judgment, what that is coming to some new realizations, at least in this tarot reading, and within this spread, that's the feeling that I'm getting. Like, because of your past failed relationships, that has led you with each relationship, or maybe like this is talking just about one major relationship, this has made you aware of a lot of things within you that you were previously not aware of. Okay? So in a way, it's asking you to thank the universe for bringing in those relationships, despite the failure of the relationship itself. You know, I feel like you wouldn't have had these realizations, and you wouldn't have come to these newer conclusions, this newer understanding that you have now, if not for these failures from these past relationships. Okay? And with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles to me is that desire for a new beginning. Okay? Which is why I felt like, as I was, even shuffling the cards, I distinctly felt like there is a good amount of recognition here within you guys about, these things that you have discovered about yourself and needing now to change, and this desire to once again give love a chance, give relationships a chance. Okay? And I feel like you guys are still not in a place of decision as to like take some kind of firm action towards this desire, because I feel like this desire is in the shadow of these past experiences and past, not so good relationships that you have had, and it's kind of still under the shadow of that. So it's kind of like you want to follow your what your heart is telling you now, but it's you stop yourself. And that to me is the Two of Pentacles. It's a need or not a need, sorry. It's a place where you are balancing two opposite viewpoints. But still not moving ahead. That is, it is, you're still stationary. You're right in the same spot as you are, but you're trying to balance these two viewpoints. This time around with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like you want this relationship, want your next relationship to last longer. Okay? You have paid your dues, I feel like. That is what you must be telling yourself. Like, you are done with dysfunctional relationships. You're done, with them not feeling good to you. They being, the relationships, they being full of lessons and pain. But this time around, you want to start something with that someone, and there's a deep desire and need in you for this one to pan out into like a long-term relationship, something that is for keeps, something that you will have in your life always. And the Ace of Pentacles energy, this kind of a new beginning that comes with the Ace of Pentacles, it asks of you to leave your comfort zone, to leave behind what you know, leave behind the familiar, and to take that first step. It's like planting a seed, so like a solid step, really putting yourself out there, looking for a relationship. And again, I feel like that must be in the shadow or under the shadow of this pain from past relationships that you have not been able to totally shake off or get rid of from your energy. Okay? With the Judgment card, like I said, this is a card of like knowing that you have come to several new realizations and you have been learning a lot of lessons in your life through all of this, like through the relationships of the past. But it's also in a way an empowering kind of card, which is here to tell you that you know more than you think, that you have it in you to now do the next relationship right. You have learned your lessons and you will be able to integrate them into this new this next relationship. Okay? I want to get some more cards and clarify some energies here. So what is this Ace of Pentacles energy? Or tell us more about this new beginning. Tell me more about this new beginning. It's a heart desire, something you want, that much I can see. But it's almost like that hesitation, I feel like, in both Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. For some of you, this can be also like you being indecisive in a relationship that you are in right now. Okay, so you not being able to take that solid kind of step towards commitment, giving them your commitment. So for some of you, it's speaking of that, like not being able to do that, holding yourself back because of this, like, experiences in the past and the ways that your subconscious fears might be influencing you, of which I feel like you are aware of. Okay, so that leaves you unable to follow your heart, follow your passion, follow your desire, because there is a desire for connections and desire for love and desire for a fulfilling relationship, but it's like you're unable to acknowledge that. So you're unable to make that choice. The Lovers is also a card of choice, choosing one thing or the other. So you might be unable to do that at this time. But with the Judgment card, the major arcana card being kind of like the major energy, it's kind of here to empower you and tell you that you now know, and like whatever choice you make, it will be coming from a place, not just like taking a chance, but coming from a place of like wisdom. And the wisdom comes from whatever you have learned from your past relationships. Okay, so it could be talking about a relationship that you are in right now, and you have even seriously considered taking this relationship to the next level. And I feel like with this reading, it's kind of telling you that you can give this relationship a chance, and you should give it a chance, and not allow yourself to be held back by fear of repeating this failure cycle, this pain cycle once again. Okay? So what is this Ace of Wands energy here? What is the Ace of Wands energy here? Four of Swords. It's like you almost question a lot your own desire. You question it a lot, and you spend a lot of time thinking about it and evaluating it, but not really going towards it. Not very scared, I feel like, of repeating the pain cycle, and just like not, also I feel like you don't have the faith in love and in relationships in general. So that is influencing this Four of Swords energy here as well. But I feel like it's just you want to follow it. It's calling out to you, but you're not responding, and you're not open to giving love a chance. Okay, and I feel like this entire reading is kind of here, is telling you, or is here to tell you, that you're now ready, even though you might not feel like it. You might yourself not be aware, or you are not looking at your journey. You're not looking at your journey, yeah. And how far you have come, how much wisdom you have gained. Because I find like the energy for this pile 2, of a very self-aware person. It's very self-aware people, really wise. But right now, stuck in a place of indecision because of all of this coming out. So maybe, you find yourself, either seriously considering giving love another chance, or like I said, you might be in a relationship. So all of this is the subconscious fears, the lessons you have learned, the pain you have encountered, all that is coming up back again. And that's giving you like a pause. It's making you think, maybe you shouldn't go ahead with it, or like you do not know if this would be the right move. If this time around you would be able to create the kind of relationship that you have always wanted. And I feel like this reading is here to tell you that you are more ready than you think you are. Okay? So let's get some more on that Judgment energy, because I'm getting like really powerful vibes from it, and I want to clarify it more or add to it more. What's this Judgment energy here? What's the Judgment energy here? The Chariot. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what I've been feeling, like you are ready to move on ahead in your life. You are in a place energetically where you can do this, where you can commit in a relationship that you're in, or you are ready to make progress. And here's why. The Chariot is the energy of someone that has integrated all the like shadow aspects of themselves. So all the like unconscious and subconscious fears and lessons that they have learned from past pain. All of that is incorporated, is integrated. That is, they have made some sense of it. They draw their energy from those sides of themselves, as well as the light aspects of their personality, of their being. So it's both those sides of you kind of like fueling this progress ahead. And this Chariot is here to tell you, like, you can do this because you've come a long way. In the past, maybe you were the one who were not 100% in relationships, and your pain has made you see that and come to these realizations, you know? And so with the Chariot, it's here to tell you, like, you can go ahead. It's kind of like a thumbs up, like you are, again, as I was saying, more ready than you think you might be. Much more ready than you yourself know or believe. Okay? I'm also seeing like a black cat in the background here, and that to me, black cat is kind of like a representative of the shadow aspect. So this cat is with another cat, like it's a couple, and the cat over here is kind of looking at the shadow in the window, or is that a picture frame? I can't tell, but it's looking at that. So it's kind of like, you know, it's thinking about the past here and thinking about what went down and fearful. Like, am I inherently broken? You know, that's the question that you might be asking yourself because of my childhood, my experiences in childhood. Okay? That's something that you may have considered for yourself because of the relationships that you have seen in your life, your parents or other people, other elders in your life. So it's kind of like you're wondering, you know, do I really, do I have this? Like, do I have what it takes to make the kind of life and relationship that I desire, or am I just like inherently broken? Okay? That might even be making you these kinds of thoughts and this confusion in your mind. That is something that might be even making you withdraw from the connection that you are in right now from time to time, as in the need to like be by yourself and think things through, and taking some time off, and you know, distancing yourself from your person if you are in a relationship right now. But these cards here, they're kind of like, no, this person is much more ready than they believe. That this time around, the choices and the decisions that they will make, they will be coming from a place of wisdom. They will just know what to do. Okay? All right, let's get some oracle messages here to see what else we can understand about what is going on with you and get some advice on that. So what's the message for my pile 2 people? What's the message for my pile 2 people? What should they be looking at? What should they be healing in order to align themselves better to love and relationships? Trust in divine detours. So with the Chariot, you know, making progress, if there is a fear that, you know, you might land up in a place that you never planned for with, you know, your next relationship and your next love connection. And as I was saying in the beginning, you know, with the past, or your past connections, if that's something that is causing you to pause and to be like overly cautious now, this time around, this card is here to tell you that you need to trust that all of that was needed at the time to bring you to this new vibration, this newer space of like deeper understanding, and it was actually meant to align you. So this is asking you to have faith in, the divine, which is always guiding your life, which is always bringing to you that which you truly need in order to align yourself to your dreams and your hopes and desire. There needs to be some amount of fearlessness that you need to bring in, the spirit of fearlessness, with trust, with faith in the divine plan. Don't go through life being so scared, is what I'm getting. Don't be so scared. Don't shut yourself out so much, and believe that there is a possibility for you in love out there too. And I'm looking at the number 16, which adds up to 7, and that's usually like someone who has gone through a lot of challenges and learned from it, and they're independent and they take care of themselves. So that's why I feel like from this particular reading for pile 2, I'm getting a very empowered and very self-aware kind of energy. So like evolved beings, you guys, but I feel like you still hesitate in moving forward. And this reading is I hope that it's serving as a reminder to adopt that fearless attitude and trust the process. Horse spirit, freedom is yours. The freedom of choice, the freedom to do what you can or what you want to, rather, is here now. I feel like this card is saying. So, like I was saying, I'm getting a very empowered vibe from this pile 2 reading for you guys. And I see a very like beautiful, with embellishments and all that, a beautiful horse here. This card is kind of telling me that you guys have reached a place in your life where you can believe that can believe in the choices that you are going to make, and that you will be able to handle the consequences of those choices as well. Okay? Like you got this. I feel like saying again and again, like you got this and you know more than you think. And it's just like you need to bring in that belief in yourself back into the game again. You have a lot going on for you than you might be aware of. You have a lot to offer. You bring a lot of wisdom. I'm getting a lot of wisdom type of vibes as well from this card. So that allows you to feel free, like you can, and you have the choice not to repeat the pain cycle also. If it is something like the wounding and unconscious fears kind of coming from your environment or your family and whatnot, you have the choice to break that cycle and create your life in the way you desire or how you desire. And it doesn't have to be like a reflection of anything from the past, be it like past relationships or childhood or whatnot. You have tremendous power now and the wisdom that you need to welcome the possibility of love and connections and to do them right. Okay, let's get one more. What is the advice that comes up for pile 2? What do they need to know to clear the blockages
in love and in relationships. Co-create with spirit. Crow spirit. So crows, just as like a spirit animal and a bird, they are really good fighters and highly intelligent, and resourceful, and they can carry out, I don't know if you have read about or seen videos about crows on different like Animal Planet and National Geographic channels, but if you do find some information very interesting, read up on it. They're very independent and very intelligent, and they can strategize, you know. They can perform tasks at a level that usually we wouldn't expect from a bird, so they're very surprising in that way. So two distinct messages. Again, a very empowering message, and I feel like you guys need to hear this, for you to appreciate the wisdom and intelligence that you bring to the table, that you can draw from to create this, you know, like love and happy relationships going forth in your life. And secondly, co-creation is sort of like that acknowledgement that spirit and the divine is working through you to bring in what is necessary. So this kind of is also talking about transcendence. And with especially this pile, I feel like there is a big spiritual side to all of you that are watching this pile 2 reading here right now. And this understanding that you are one with spirit and there's no like ego responsibility in a way. And this card is here to remind you of that. Have faith that whatever you will bring forth, or whatever will be created with through you, you have to allow it to flow for that creation to come in, and that's a part of like the divine's plan for itself. Okay? So I'm getting really like empowered or empowering kind of messages here. But let's see some more oracle cards for you. What advice needs to come through for pile 2 to help them clear out the blockages within them in the area of love and relationships? Release the need to complain. Yeah. Honestly assess, let me hold this right. Honestly assess whether you are a complainer. No matter whether you share complaints with others or keep them to yourself, this tendency is a way of looking at a situation without seeing its potential blessings. Your goal to release predilection to complain and instead see the positive side of things. So as I was saying, like you might be, thinking way too much than necessary maybe, and I'm sorry to say this, but maybe there's too much dwelling on everything that is wrong about love and about relationships, and how you have learned your lessons now from the past because of this happened or that happened in your previous relationship. And Spirit is asking you to now change your focus from that to what it is that you're hoping to bring into your life now. Okay? So release. I love the image where this person is just letting go of past pain and their need to talk about it and focus on it and complain about it. And in the process, they're also opening themselves up to this next new chapter. So be mindful if you are doing that, or if you tend to do that. Watch yourself, ask yourself if that is true about you, and release that need to complain, to focus so much on the past and the pain from the past. Okay? What else do you need to know? Assess your relationship. So I said this, as I said, this could be with the lover's energy here. This could be some of you who are in a relationship right now. And this assessment, you can see one hand is passing something on to the other hand, and they're being receptive to it. And if I flip the card around, it's almost the same, like give and take. So really take the time to think about your relationship in the light of this new wisdom that you have gained from the past. Let's see quickly what the back of the card says. Identify one dynamic or component of a close relationship that's vital to your emotional and physical health. This is especially important if you're healing, and I feel like you are in the process. You've come a long way, but you still have some ways to go, and I feel like you are healing this wounded area around relationships with you guys. So this is especially important if you are healing and particular relationship is causing you stress. If your relationship is a healthy union, then celebrate. Your goal is to integrate your relationship into the quality of your life. So even with this, for those of you that are in a relationship right now, honestly take a look at whether this relationship is in line with what you want to create, and if not, find the courage to walk away from it, even if this means you experiencing yet another failed relationship, because trust what is happening, and trust in yourself that whatever will come out of it will further align you to your goals or make you even more wise in relationships and in the area of love. So this is honestly assessing how your current relationship is going on, if you are in a relationship right now. Okay? Because relationships are an important part of life, affecting our physical as well as emotional health. Very much so. And if you find, that it's not really serving you, have the courage to walk away from it. So this could be for some of you watching this right now, and there might be this fear of not leaving the familiar. Like I said, with the Ace of Pentacles, this kind of new beginning comes from having to leave your comfort zone and having to leave behind everything that is familiar and what you know right now. So that could be for those of you that resonated with that message. Have the faith that, if you do decide to walk away or choose to walk away, and you allow yourself that freedom of choice, the freedom is yours. If you allow yourself that freedom, that it's going to lead to even more alignment with the goal of the kind of quality of relationship that you want to create. So one last card. See the good in everything. Yeah, this is, in line with the message of this card. The need to not complain. You might find yourself stuck in a negative headspace as well, which might be responsible for you not being able to make a new start, to give yourself a new start. It may be if you're in a relationship right now, that may be this kind of thinking, negative headspace, that is making you stuck, where you are not able to commit in this relationship, or you're just stuck in a complaining kind of mind space at the moment. And this card is asking you to be optimistic about life. This day is for optimism only. No matter what comes your way, your task is to see the favorable attributes in it. Your goal to practice the power of positive thinking. And to me, thinking positive does not mean not looking at the current circumstance and being completely blind to it and in denial about it. But this is optimism. To me, is true hope. Despite everything that you have gone through, despite all the pain, and despite all the challenges that you have had in the past or still might be facing, that there is some hope for the future. Okay? So if you find yourself resonating with this, like, what's the point of even trying again or trying harder? This card, this reading, all of it is kind of encouraging you and telling you, don't worry, you are being guided to that which you hope to create. So beautiful message here. I'm going to leave your reading here. I do sincerely hope that the messages resonated and that they helped you in a very real way. If you did find that this reading helped you in any way, big or small, I hope that you will consider giving this video a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing and staying back for more future readings to come. Thank you so much for watching my channel or this video today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Hi Pal 3, so this is your reading if you resonated with this. Hi Pal 3, welcome to your reading. So this is for those of you that selected this pyrite or the Shadowscapes tarot deck. Welcome. And if you guys missed the intro to this video, today this reading is going to be more focused on you, as in I am going to, or I hope to, channel messages from Spirit, and that would be advice for you and what you need to do, or what you need to look at, what you need to heal in order to remove those blockages within you that are keeping you from, finding fulfilling, loving relationships, or like fixing the relationship that card jumped out, so I'm gonna start with that. Finding the kind of relationships that you're looking for. And these kind of readings, in my opinion and my experience, they can be a little difficult to process, and the messages might be something that you might find a little challenging to accept. But the intent and the hope is to bring into focus those messages from Spirit that you need to hear at this time, and what you need to heal in order to align better. So we are starting with the Sun card, and to start this reading off, I'm going to get a snapshot kind of the current energies that you are working with, where you are at right now, and this sort of gives me the context for the rest of the reading, as well as it will tell you if this reading is for you or not, with the information that comes up in this part of the reading, the first part of the reading. If this does not resonate, please consider choosing another pile within this read, or like coming back for the next reading. So let's take a look at what you're working with right now. What are the major issues and concerns? Where are you right now, pile 3? Whoops, this jumped out. So the 9 of Pentacles. So what? Okay, that jumped out. We have the 3 of Wands. Okay. So overall, I feel like in a very optimistic place you guys are. And you have a strong sense of independence, as in you don't really need a relationship. You feel self-sufficient, and you are able to give yourself the high joy and happiness that you need. You have managed to create a place for yourself where you are happy and comfortable, and you are looking to create like more loving and fulfilling relationships, or you are seeking that kind of connection. But overall, I'm getting a very like positive, being in a positive headspace, kind of vibe from this reading for pile 3. So let's see, what is it that you're working with? What's your energy like when it comes to love and relationships? With the 9 of Pentacles, you might also be like feeling really good about yourself, because you have come a long way. You worked on that self-appreciation. The High Priestess, and bottom of the deck we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So overall, a really like positive place that you find yourself in, an optimistic place, optimistic about finding love, optimistic about the idea of love and of relationships in general, and also feeling good within yourselves, like I was saying with the 9 of Pentacles. The High Priestess energy here is the need to tune into your intuition, your own innate wisdom that you bring, in the area of love and relationships. There might be a need to tune into that, and you might be in the process of doing so right now, which is the thing that might be causing a delay, but a much needed delay, if you know what I mean, in bringing in a new relationship or a connection, for those of you that are seeking that. Or if you find yourself like in a relationship right now and you're watching this, then that is the reason why there might be delays in like ironing out the kinks that you want to iron out, and actually create or convert the present state that your relationship is in into a much higher and better place or relationship. So you are still in the process of like balancing out the positive, hopeful feelings that you get, and also like tuning into your own intuition. Okay? For most of you watching this pile 3 reading, if not all of you, for most of you, this is someone seeking a new relationship, I feel like. And right now, you are single or just by yourself, in a very happy, positive, independent, strong place. And you are hoping to create that. And you're still getting clear in your head what would be, or what choice would be the right choice for you, or how would you choose your next romantic partner, your next relationship? What are the things that you're looking for? What are the non-negotiables that you are looking for in relationships that will make you happy? What is important to you right now, or in relationships? That discernment process, the getting clear about that, is what I feel like you are engaged in right now. And because of this, there might be certain delays in finding, and you might be feeling, not from a like desperate place at all, because I'm not getting that vibe, but like you might be wondering, like, is this going to happen for me or not? Like, am I going to find someone or not? And the delay is not from the outside. This message seems to be saying, it's inside, because you're still, you still have to get a little more clear about what is it that you're looking for. So you might also be currently like casually dating multiple people, or maybe like one at a time, but like in a series, and you might be learning quite a bit from it, from this dating process, which is clarifying your own
ideas and perceptions and wants and desires and non-negotiables, as I said, about love and about relationship. So some of you might be single but dating and learning through that and learning to tune into that. I feel like with the High Priestess, the High Priestess is our deep intuition and sort of under the layer, looking under the surface kind of abilities that we all have, that you are fine-tuning and getting used to right now. Okay? So if this kind of a vibe resonates with you, then this is your reading. Keep on watching. We are going to get into advice for you, or what is it that you need to look at right now. Okay, that jumped out, so I'm going to take it. We are starting with the Devil. Whoops. What is it that you need to... I do take jumper cards, but not when I drop a few at a time. Sorry about that. What is it that you need to look at? What do you need to be aware of? Look at that, so many cards flipped over. This deck, why is it proving challenging to shuffle? Okay, here we go. Why? Sorry. What do you need to look at? What do you need to know, my pile 3? What do you need to hear right now? Advice from Spirit for your situation. Okay, this wants to jump out. We have the Hermit. What is, this wants to jump out? The Queen of Cups. What do you need to hear at this time in your situation? What's the advice that File 3 needs to hear for their situation? We have the Page of Wands. And bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so this is bringing up a side of you that did not come up in the first part of this read. I'm seeing here, a little bit of a tendency to go back and forth, where it's like at times you are out there, you're putting yourself out there, okay? As in like, dating other people and relationships and whatnot. And sometimes it's like you withdraw yourself, okay? And you go into a shell. You go into a cave. You spend a lot of time alone. And I feel like you're doing this by choice. And one of the things prominently that you must be doing in this time when you withdraw your energy is getting in touch with the emotional side of you. Getting in touch with your own emotions. Allowing yourself to witness them, to feel them. Okay? And this might be coming from the relationship experience that you're having, which just seems like a lot of like new learning that is happening. But it could also be like just you recognizing that you need to work on your own clearing, like emotional clearing, in order to be present or be even more available for love and relationships. So there is that wisdom there within you that I'm seeing here, that recognizes that, you yourself have to be very much in touch with what is going on with you. You need to value that. You need to learn from that. And that makes you kind of like go back and forth a little bit. But also kind of like the problematic side that is being brought to our attention here is your tendency to focus too much on the negative. Okay? So this withdrawal might also be coming from there. Okay, two things seem to be feeding it. One is that recognition that you need to be getting even more emotionally clear than you are now, to make yourself even more available for relationships, but also that negative focus, or focus on the negatives too much. Okay? At times I feel like even though you want to be out there, and you want to be actively seeking love and relationships, there is a part of you that wants to protect yourself too. Okay? And this Nine of Wands energy, which is the energy of like at times wanting to defend yourself or like protect yourself, and therefore you pull up your defenses in connecting with others. That might be, like I said, coming from a place of being too focused on the negatives in your connections. Okay? So that is coming up as kind of like a problem that you need to see, that you need to look at. Let me get some more advice on this itself, like the tendency to focus on the negatives, and let's see what else Spirit has to say about that. So give me more on the devil energy here. Can you please give some more insights into the devil energy here for my pile 3 spread? We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, making you a little arrogant, I feel like, and a little reckless, and tendency to run, from situations, from connections, from relationships. So ask yourself, are you, in order to like defend or like protect yourself, not defend, but more like protect yourself, do you tend to like run from relationships? While at the same time, you might be seeking it, but there's this dysfunction coming up in you. Whereas at times you might come across as someone eager. Wow, this reading is kind of putting you on the spot and highlighting this issue, where sometimes you might come across as someone who's out there looking for love, looking for relationships, but at the same time, I feel like you also cut yourself off, or like cut the relationship off, and run from it, and then spend a lot of time alone dwelling on it and getting in touch with your own feelings. So I'm not saying that in itself is a bad thing, because I'm not getting that vibe about that particular like exercise that you engage in, which is like getting in touch deep with your feelings. So I'm not getting kind of like a don't do it, or like that's bad, or dysfunctional vibe from it at all. So that, you disconnecting might actually like be one of the healthier things that you do. Not disconnecting, sorry. You getting in touch with your emotions might be one of the healthier things that you do invest your time and energy in. But at the same time, in relationships and connections, it might confuse the other people that are in a connection with you, okay? In that they do not know, like, what does this person really want? This is quite like a complex energy on my table for pile 3, kind of like difficult to explain. It's kind of like you are out there, but then you're not really up there, and you tend to withdraw, and you tend to focus on the negative. And you recognize that there is a need for healing. But how you might be conducting yourself in a relationship is something that is like a runner vibe and an immature. Okay, so maybe you also have problems with communicating this like complex energy, understandably so. Maybe you're facing problems around that too, like communication.
Okay? But for pile 3, I'm not getting like you people who picked pile 3, I'm not getting that sense of like a bad boy girl kind of vibe. It's just I feel like this has to be like a repeated cycle, a pattern for you guys, which you find yourself stuck in. The devil can also talk about these behavior patterns that we keep repeating again and again until there's this need to really realize how it affects other people, need to heal it. Okay, so this is calling all the runners in in the relationship, I feel like. And I feel like you start the relation or begin a connection with really good intentions. But then somehow your walls go up, like you start like feeling unsafe in the connection, or like maybe too much is being asked of you which you're not ready to give. So that feeling of, okay, the first part of the reading, it was talking about like feeling hopeful, feeling positive, feeling good. All that might be there, but really question yourself, like, are you ready really for a relationship? Or do you still need to spend some time healing yourself, getting in touch with your own feelings, getting that clarity, emotional clarity? Question that. Are you really ready? Or you just think you're ready and then you land up like, you yourself being dysfunctional in relationships, breaking some hearts. Like Knight of Swords is like the energy of a heartbreaker. Okay? So ask yourself that, and with that question, and therein lies the answers as to what you need to heal. Let's get some more cards. I want to clarify. Whoops, jumping 3-4 cards, not taking. Okay, I want to clarify the Page of Wands energy. What's the Page of Wands? I feel like that's part of you that really desires this, but then it's all defensive. A really complex energy, a complex character with pile 3 that has come up on my table here. We have the Nine of Pentacles again. So yeah, that's the side of you where you often feels like you are ready and open for relationships, and you want that someone to step into the picture and turn this Nine of Pentacles situation into the Ten of Pentacles, which is like a long-term relationship, stability. So it's that desire. But with the Page of Wands, I feel like it's an immature desire and something that needs to be really examined and questioned. Are you really ready? Like, are you desiring from a place of really being ready for it? Or is that something that, whoops, sorry about that. Is that something that you are, quote unquote, like faking it? So let me get some oracle cards to this reading, add it to the reading, and let's see what comes up. What do you need to be aware of? What do you need to see in order to remove the blockages that you feel? What do you need to see? The first is choose love. These are messages cards, so let's read the message. If you're struggling with an obstacle or conflict, choose a path of love. Suffering, doubt, and frustration all transform in the presence of love. In fact, if you have a hard time with self-love, start outside yourself and work your way in. Showing love to others can be the gateway for loving yourself. I feel like this is such an apt message for you who chose pile 3, because with the devil energy and the hermit and this tendency to withdraw and then just focus on the negatives, and those negatives do include the self-doubt, frustration, with these connections that you might be getting into but then running away from,
And that kind of makes you blind to how you might land up, might be treating others, the effect that this kind of doubt, frustration, suffering, that brings into the connection and how it affects others. And this card is talking about bringing in self-love. So working on your healing, as I said, and I find that with pile 3, there must be some awareness at least of this need to be, need to heal before like they can jump into relationships. But this card is also talking about bringing that kindness, compassion, and love to others. Seeing how you being the Knight of Swords, the heartbreaker, the runner kind type of energy, one who puts up their walls and doesn't maybe allow so much access to you, maybe, take a look at how it makes others feel. Start with empathy, for yourself as well as for others. That's the message that seems to be wanting to come through here. So what is it that pile 3 people need to focus on, to look at in order to heal? So this is something that might be happening unconsciously, and as I said, it's kind of putting the spotlight on that, the Knight of Swords. I don't feel like you guys have a mean bone in your body. I don't sense that maliciousness and the desire to like break heart, but because of your own dysfunction, there are other people that might be getting affected, is what this reading is asking you to look at. I don't know for what reason, but that is coming up as a prominent issue here that is being pointed out. And usually with advice that it's a very unusual advice to come up, I'll be honest with you here, kind of something that makes me uncomfortable and surprises me. Like, why are you attacking my querent? Why are you attacking my 3 people and asking them to take a look at their own defenses and how they affect people? But that is what is coming up in the reading. Okay. Make waves. Let's see the back. It's your turn to make a splash and rock a few creaky boats. Don't be afraid to get wet. You may fail, you may look foolish, or you may make people think in a new way. Every great trailblazer and change maker made waves. You are no different. So I feel like this is talking about, if in this process of healing that you do recognize, I feel like that you need to go through, okay? If you do land up making some very outlandish choices, I feel like with this hermit energy, this wanting to be alone but not finding space in your life to really, really do that and invest your time and energy into it wholeheartedly. And that's why, you could be attempting to connect to other people, but then quickly this unhealed part of you comes up. So if you're someone who's struggling with that, struggling to give yourself the opportunity to really be alone for a while and work through things, and for that maybe you need to go up the top of a mountain, or just go somewhere where you can be alone by yourself. This card is message for that someone to actually go ahead and make that choice. Even if it's a kind of untraditional looking choice, give yourself the chance, give yourself the opportunity to do that. Don't be afraid to do something that might surprise you and surprise others, because I feel like that will be good in your situation. Don't try to connect with other people or get into relationships when you recognize that there is still some healing that you need to do. That's doing more damage, I feel like, rather than taking a break or changing directions, which might, as I said, surprise some people around you and confuse them. But you deserve it. You give that to yourself, okay, to work through some of your own issues. What's this? Elevate your energy, aligning yourself more and to a more positive vibration. Your thoughts are vibrations that attract positive or negative energy. Notice your current emotional state. So like I said, really take the time to get that emotional clarity, which I feel like might be somewhat lacking at this time. Clear any negativity through conversation, movement, breath, work, prayer, meditation, and so on. Then guide your thoughts back to love and abundant possibilities. When you elevate your energy, you attract abundance, health, and prosperity into your life. So this is again, examining your own energy. And when they say energy, like the energetic map of a person, are a combination of your thoughts, your feelings, and the subconscious and unconscious influences at this time, which do take a little bit of time to discern and to connect with. But really, to me, this is understanding yourself, the message from this card. Because if you do not understand what you're working with and where you're at, how will you make progress? Like, how will you know what the next stage is? How will you advance with that? Like, which direction, what, how? So really getting in touch with your energy, really understanding it, really incorporating that, and then elevating your energy, getting that emotional clarity. I feel like this Queen of Cups, she's wanting like clarity, She wants to be absolutely sure, be clear about her own feelings. I feel like there is some need with my pile 3 people to get on that task. Okay? Let me draw oracle cards from another oracle deck. This is actually the Morgan's tarot deck. But like I usually use it as an oracle deck. Why? You will see in a minute. It's because of the cards and how they are designed and the messages. Okay, so let's see. Really abstract, whimsical tarot deck. This is, or oracle deck, as I would like to still call it. Okay, what is the advice for keep up the good work? So you have been, like I said, becoming more and more aware, more and more wiser as you work on yourself. And I feel like you are, as I said in the beginning, you are somewhat aware of this need to work on yourself and keep on doing the work. You still have some ways to go. You're still not healed. You're still not there. There's still some building up of yourself that needs to happen. But with the star, there's hope. It's a positive message that keep doing the work, keep focusing on what you want to create, keep getting clear about things, about your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, and there is hope in the future that you will get to the vibe that you do desire, that will align you or remove the blockages in your life in the area of love and relationships. Like I said in the first part of this reading, you guys must be wondering, like, what is going on? Why are there so many delays, hiccups in actually getting to that place? Because I feel like outwardly you might feel that you're ready, but inwardly there's a lot of work to be done. Okay, what else? What do my pile 3 people need to know? It's a dog food world. So for me, I don't know why, and I'm kind of laughing while saying this and chuckling here, but this is, accepting what's on your plate and not being in a rush, okay, to, bring in this new relationship, this new connection, and also accepting these messages that are coming from you and kind of pointing out at your own dysfunction. It's accepting that, consuming that information, and engaging with it. You know, even if for a while this makes you feel not so good about yourself. Okay? Like, I feel like this reading is really harsh on pile 3's ego, at least, and kind of like making them say, hey, hold on a minute, you're not ready yet. And you need to not put yourself out there because all these issues keep coming up for you. So it's kind of in a way a reprimand from universe, but in a loving way. It comes from a place of love. They want you, Spirit wants you to see all of this and heal it. So it's kind of like being accepting and humbled in a way, and really taking that advice in the right spirit. Okay, so what's coming up for pile 3? What do they need to look at? What do they need to focus on? Some of you, I almost feel like you watching this reading, you're going, oh, this is bullshit. She doesn't know. Like, this is not me. You know, some of you, I feel like it's coming through. This message is coming through for me, that some of you will really reject. You know how in the beginning of like every reading, the intro of this video and like beginning every reading for each of the piles, I say that some of the messages might be hard to accept. This one, not so much with pile 1 and pile 2, but this one I feel like really is a shining example of that. Mushrooms. Now, when you think of a mushroom, okay, you think of those tiny little parasite plants growing everywhere. And there are 2 types of mushrooms. There are poisonous ones that must be stayed away from. Some you cannot even touch, let alone consume. And then there are mushrooms that are, you know, eaten, that are consumed. Okay? And it's very difficult to just, unless like you really, really know and you have gained that knowledge, it's difficult to just look at a mushroom and see what category, or tell what category it falls into. Okay? And I feel like this mushroom, when I look at it, on the surface it looks fine, but I do not know yet, you know, what criteria it falls into. So there is this outward focus. There's that need here with this card, the messages, the need here to take a deeper look. As I said, you guys might be telling yourself that you are ready. The previous reading is funny. In pile 2, the reading for them was like, you might be more ready than you think you are. And here it's like almost saying like, dude, you're not ready. Come back and focus within and learn more about yourself. And on the outside, you must be putting up like this persona, that you are ready to make a go of it, like with relationships. But I almost feel like Spirit is asking you again to not go by outward, you know, as it appears, or like your outward desires and whatnot, because there's this need of self-examination that you're trying to bypass. Okay? So again, like I said with pile 3, I don't know why these messages came through, and when I'm reading, I really don't bother sugarcoating anything. I just deliver the message as it is channeled through me. So please do not shoot and hate the messenger. Anyways, I do hope that this reading resonated. I do hope that this reading helps you. And if it does help you or did help you in big way or small, please consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and also subscribing to my channel and staying back for more pick a card readings to come. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.